Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we will create a food social media ad in After Effects. We will provide the project file link in the description for practice, so be sure to download it and follow along. If you enjoy our videos, please like, comment, and share them. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So, let's get started. First, click on New Composition to create a new composition. Since this video is a square social media ad, set the width to 2000 and the height to 2000. Keep the frame rate at 30 frames per second and set the duration to 15 seconds. Then click OK. Next, double click on the rectangle tool to create a shape layer. Now we need to apply a gradient fill. To do that, click on Fill, choose Radial Gradient, and click OK. To change the colors, click on the color box and select the first color stop. Enter the color code D9CA28. Then select the second color stop and enter the color code FDC504. Click OK. Now select the color stop and drag it outward to spread the color and create a smoother gradient effect. Rename this layer to Background. Next, double-click inside the project panel and import all the images that we will use in this project. Take the texture image and place it above the background layer. Press S on the keyboard to reveal the scale property, then scale down the texture layer as needed. Right-click on the texture layer and change its blending mode to Overlay. This will help the texture blend naturally with the background and add more depth to the design. Now, bring the pasta images onto the timeline, scale them as needed. Place one pasta image in the top left corner and the second pasta image in the bottom right corner of the composition. Next, we will create shadows for the pasta plates. Select the ellipse tool, draw an ellipse, click on Fill, choose a solid color, and click OK. And scale it so that it is slightly larger than the pasta plate. This ellipse will serve as the shadow. Place the pasta image above the ellipse layer. Rename the ellipse layer to Shadow. Now select the shadow layer. In the Effects and Presets panel, search for Fastbox Blur and apply it to the shadow layer. In the Effect Controls panel, increase the blur radius until you achieve a soft shadow effect. Press Ctrl+D to duplicate the shadow layer. Move the duplicated shadow beneath the pasta image in the bottom right corner. Next, select both pasta image layers and press R to reveal the rotation property. Click the stopwatch to create keyframes at the beginning of the timeline. Move the playhead to 5 seconds and set the rotation value to 1, completing one full rotation. Now select all 4 keyframes. Right-click Keyframe Assistant and choose Easy Ease. Now preview the animation. You will see both pasta plates rotating smoothly with a more natural motion. Now we will add some text here. Now click on the Type tool and type the word delicious. Press Ctrl+D to duplicate the text layer. Then change the duplicated text to tasty pasta. Select the delicious text layer and change its font to Pacifico. Next, select the tasty pasta text layer. Change its font and choose a different color to make it stand out. Reduce the font size of the delicious text so that it works as a supporting headline. Now, bring the decorative element graphics into the timeline and position them on both sides of the delicious text. Scale the elements as needed so they fit nicely within the design. Next, go to the Effects and Presets panel and search for Fill. Drag the fill effect onto the first element layer and change its color to green. To animate the tasty pasta text, select your text layer and open it up. Go to Animate and choose Position. Increase the Y-axis value to around 50. Next, click Add and choose Opacity. Set the opacity value to 0. Open the range selector and go to Advanced Settings. Change Based On to Words and set the shape to ramp up. After that, change Ease High to 50 and Ease Low to 100. Now, go to Offset and add a keyframe at the beginning. Set the offset value to -100. Move forward to around 2 seconds and change the offset value to 100. This will animate the text smoothly, word by word. Next, select both keyframes. Press F9 to Easy Ease. To make the animation even smoother, open the graph editor and adjust the curves for a cleaner motion. Now preview the animation. Now we will animate delicious text layer. Now move the playhead 10 frames forward from the beginning of the timeline by pressing Shift plus page down. Select the delicious text layer and move its starting point to this position so that it begins 10 frames after the start of the composition. Do the same for both graphic element layers, moving their starting points forward to match the delicious text layer. Next, go to the Effects and Presets panel and search for the Typewriter Effect. Drag the effect onto the delicious text layer. Press U on the keyboard to reveal the animation keyframes created by the effect. Move the second keyframe of the text animation to the 2-second mark on the timeline. Now select both keyframes and press F9 to apply Easy Ease. To make the animation even smoother, open the graph editor and adjust the curves to create a cleaner and more natural motion. Preview the animation. For the graphic element animation, I am using the Animation Composer plugin. It is a free plugin that I downloaded, and it includes many useful animation presets. For this element, I am using the bounce scale from Anchor Point preset. Since I want the elements to animate into the scene, click Animate In, and the preset will be applied automatically. Apply the same preset to the second graphic element as well so that both elements animate consistently. Now preview the animation. Now we're going to add the names of the pasta dishes around the plates. Since the pasta is already placed on plates, we'll use a text path to make the dish names follow the shape of each plate. First, select the Type tool and type the name of the dish. In this example, I'll type spaghetti bolognese. Next, select the text layer and choose the pen tool. Draw a path around the pasta plate by simply clicking to create anchor points. Once the path is complete, hold Alt and drag the anchor point handles to convert them into smooth curves. Adjust the curves until the path follows the shape of the plate. Now open the text layer. Expand text, then open Path Options. Change the path setting to Mask 1. If the text appears on the wrong side of the path, enable Reverse Path. You can also use the perpendicular line control to reposition the text along the path. Move the playhead at the beginning and click the stopwatch next to first margin to create a keyframe. Then move the text completely outside the canvas. Go to 3 seconds and bring the text back into the composition by adjusting the first margin value. To make the movement more natural, select both keyframes. Press F9 to Easy Ease. You can further refine the motion by adjusting the curves in the graph editor. Preview the animation to see the text smoothly travel along the path. Repeat the same process for the pasta plate in the bottom right corner. Let's preview the animation. Now we will add a discount badge here. Now bring the discount badge image onto the timeline and scale it as needed. Next, go to the Effects and Presets panel, search for Fill, and apply it to the badge layer. Move the badge layer so that it starts at 1 second on the timeline. Then change its color in the Effect Controls panel. Press Ctrl+D to duplicate the badge layer. Since the fill effect is already applied, simply change its color in the Effect Controls panel. Scale down the duplicated badge so that it is slightly smaller than the original badge and place it on top. Now move the playhead to 3 seconds and press S to reveal the scale property. Click the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Move the playhead back to 1 second and set the scale value to 0%. Select both keyframes, right-click, go to Keyframe Assistant, and choose Easy Ease. For smoother motion, open the graph editor and adjust the curves. Next, add the text 50% off on top of the discount badge. Make the green badge layer the parent of the 50% off text layer so that the text follows the badge animation. Move the text layer so that it also starts at 1 second, matching the timing of the discount badge animation. Now select the green badge layer and press S to reveal the scale property. Hold Alt and click the stopwatch to enable an expression. In the expression field, type loop. After Effects will suggest several expressions. Choose Loop Out and click anywhere outside the expression field to apply it. This will continuously repeat the animation of the green badge along with the 50% off text. Preview the animation to see the result. Our first scene is now complete. To keep the project organized, hold Shift and select all layers that belong to Scene 1, except for the background and texture layers, since they will also be used in the next scene. Right-click on the selected layers and choose Pre-Compose. Name the new composition, Scene 1, and click OK. Now select the Scene 1 pre-composition layer and press P to reveal the position property. Move the playhead a few frames before 5 seconds and create a position keyframe. Then move the playhead to exactly 5 seconds, create another keyframe, and drag the Scene 1 composition toward the right until it moves completely outside the canvas. This creates a smooth transition, allowing Scene 1 to exit the screen and make room for the next scene. Now let's start creating Scene 2. First, bring the lasagna image onto the timeline and scale it to fit the composition. Move the layer so that it starts at 5 seconds. At 5 seconds, press S to reveal the scale property and click the stopwatch to add the first keyframe. Next, move the playhead 8 seconds and increase the scale value to 50%. Then move to 11 seconds and reduce the scale value again. Select all the scale keyframes and press F9 to apply Easy Ease. Now press Shift+R to reveal the rotation property. Move the playhead after a few frames to 8 seconds. Click the stopwatch to add the first rotation keyframe. Then move to 11 seconds and set the rotation value to 1, giving the image 1 complete rotation. Select both rotation keyframes and press F9 to apply Easy Ease. Preview the animation. The lasagna image first scales up, then scales back down while completing a smooth full rotation. Now we will add some text here. Select the Type tool and type Fresh. Press Ctrl+D to duplicate the text layer and change the text to cheesy. Duplicate the layer once more and change the text to delicious. Increase the font size of the cheesy text so that it becomes the main headline. Arrange all 3 text layers into a visually appealing layout. Then add a stroke to the cheesy text to make it stand out. Now adjust the timing of the text layers. Set the cheesy text to start at 5 seconds. After a few frames, start the fresh text, and after a few more frames, start the delicious text to create a staggered text reveal. Finally, open the Effects and Presets panel, search for Fill Color Wipe, and apply the effect to all 3 text layers. To customize the Fill Color Wipe animation, open one of the text layers and expand text. You will see 2 animators. The first animator controls the text color before the animation starts, while the second animator controls the text color after the animation is complete. By default, the effect uses its own colors, so we'll change them to match our design. First, expand Animator 2. Then click on Fill Color and choose your desired color. I'm using green for this tutorial. Now, preview the animation. You'll notice that the text changes to green as the Fill Color Wipe animation plays. Next, expand Animator 1, click on Fill Color, and choose the starting color you want the text to have before the animation begins. Preview the animation once again. Repeat the same process for the other 2 text layers. Open each text layer, expand the text properties, and adjust the fill color for both Animator 1 and Animator 2. Use the same color settings so that all 3 text layers have a consistent Fill Color Wipe animation. Once you've finished, preview the animation to make sure all the text layers animate smoothly with matching color transitions. Now, we will add some vegetables around the lasagna. Bring the vegetable images onto the timeline: cabbage, chili, bell pepper, and carrot. Hold Shift and select all 4 layers, then press S to reveal the scale property and resize them as needed. Move all 4 layers so that they start at 11 seconds. Next, press P to reveal the position property for all the selected layers. At this point, all the vegetables are positioned at the center, and we will animate them to move around the lasagna. Select the cabbage layer and click the stopwatch at 11 seconds to create the first position keyframe. Move the playhead to 13 seconds. Then drag the cabbage to the right side of the lasagna. Now select the carrot layer, click the stopwatch at 11 seconds, and at 13 seconds, move it to the left side of the lasagna. Repeat the same process for the chili layer. Add a position keyframe at 11 seconds, then move it to the bottom right of the lasagna at 13 seconds. Finally, add a position keyframe to the bell pepper layer at 11 seconds and move it to the bottom left of the lasagna at 13 seconds. Select all 8 position keyframes and press F9 to apply easy ease. Then open the graph editor and adjust the curves to create a smoother, more natural motion. Finally, move the lasagna layer above all the vegetable layers in the timeline so it appears in front of them. Preview the animation. The vegetables will smoothly spread out from the center and arrange themselves around the lasagna, creating an attractive composition. Now, we will add a wiggle expression to the vegetable layers to create subtle, natural movement. Select the cabbage layer, then hold Alt and click the position stopwatch to enable an expression. In the expression field, type WIG. After Effects will suggest several expressions. Select Wiggle. Inside the parenthesis, type 1,30. Click anywhere outside the expression field to apply it. Now preview the animation. You'll notice that the cabbage gently moves, giving it a more natural and dynamic look. Next, copy the expression from the cabbage layer. Then, one by one, select the bell pepper, carrot, and chili layers. Hold Alt, click the position stopwatch on each layer, and paste the same expression. Finally, preview Scene 2. All the vegetables will have a subtle floating motion, making the composition feel more lively and visually appealing. To finish Scene 2, we'll add a camera animation. Go to the Layer menu, choose New, and then click Camera. Leave the preset set to 35mm camera and click OK. Now move the camera layer so that it starts at 5 seconds, matching the beginning of Scene 2. Now click on 2 views and set the first view to Custom View and the second view to Left View. This makes it easier to animate the camera in 3D space. Next, select the camera layer and press P to reveal the position property. Before animating the camera, make sure all the layers in Scene 2 are converted to 3D layers. This step is essential. Otherwise, the camera won't affect them. Move the playhead to 14 seconds and click the position stopwatch to add the first keyframe. Then move forward a few frames and drag the camera closer to the scene, creating a strong zoom in effect. Continue moving the camera until the objects become out of focus and only the background remains visible. A new keyframe will be created automatically. Now select all the Scene 2 layers. Move the playhead to the point just after 14 seconds. Then press Ctrl plus Shift plus D to split the layers. Delete the second half of the split layers so that Scene 2 ends cleanly. Finally, switch the view back to one view and preview the animation. You'll see the camera smoothly zoom into the scene, transition out of focus, and leave a clean background ready for Scene 3. We originally created this composition with a duration of 15 seconds, but we need a little more time for Scene 3. So we'll extend the composition by 5 more seconds. To do that, go to the Composition menu and select Composition Settings. In the Duration field, change the value from 15 seconds to 20 seconds, then click OK. Our composition is now extended, giving us enough time to create the third scene. Now let's start creating scene 3. First, bring both logo images onto the timeline. One image is the restaurant name logo, and the other is the pictorial pasta logo. The goal is to create a rotating logo animation where the pictorial logo is visible first, and as the logo rotates, the restaurant name Pasta Delight appears on the other side. Scale them as needed. Align them in the center of the composition. Move both logo layers so that they start after 14 seconds. Next, go to Layer, select New, choose Null Object. Then rename it Logo Controller. Move the null object so that it also starts at the same time as the logo layers. Enable the 3D layer switch for the logo controller and both logo layers. Now, parent both logo layers to the logo controller. Select the logo controller and rotate it on the Y-axis. You'll notice that both logos appear in the same position, so you see only front image, but we want one logo on the front and the other on the back. Select the pictorial logo. Press P to reveal its position property and move it slightly along the Z-axis. This separates the two logo faces in 3D space. Now, when you rotate the logo controller, you'll see different logos appearing on the front and the back. Next, select the logo controller and reveal the Y rotation property. Move the playhead after 14 seconds and click the stopwatch to create the first keyframe. Then move the playhead after 19 seconds and set the Y rotation value to 2, giving the logo 2 complete rotations. Preview the animation. The logo rotates smoothly in 3D, revealing the pictorial logo on one side and the Pasta Delight restaurant name on the other, creating a clean and professional logo reveal. Now let's add the restaurant name above the logo. Select the Type tool and type Pasta Delight. Move the text layer so that it starts after 14 seconds, matching the logo animation. Next, select the text layer and choose the pen tool. Draw a curved mask path above the logo. Once the path is complete, adjust the handles until it follows the shape of the logo smoothly. Now expand the text layer, open text, and then expand path options. Change the path setting to mask 1. Use the perpendicular to path control to fine-tune the text position along the curve until it sits neatly above the logo. Finally, select the word Delight and change its color to green to make it stand out from the rest of the restaurant name. Now we'll create a square border around the composition. To do this, double-click the rectangle tool to create a shape layer that covers the entire canvas. Rename this layer Square. Next, scale the shape as needed to create a border near the edges of the composition. Increase the stroke width until the border is clearly visible. Now expand the square layer, click the Add button, and choose Trim Paths. Move the playhead after 14 seconds, expand the Trim Paths properties, and animate the End property. Click the stopwatch next to End and set its value to 0%. Then move the playhead to 15 seconds and change the End value to 100%. Preview the animation. The border is drawn around the canvas, but the animation feels a little too fast. To slow it down, move the second keyframe a few frames beyond 15 seconds. Now, select both keyframes and press F9 to apply Easy Ease. Finally, open the graph editor and adjust the speed curves to create a smoother, more elegant drawing animation. Preview the animation once again. The border now draws on more smoothly, giving the final scene a polished and professional finish. Now let's add some animation to the Pasta Delight text layer. Go to the Effects and Presets panel and search for Smooth Move In. Apply the preset to the Pasta Delight text layer. Preview the animation to see how the text smoothly moves into the scene. Next, select the Type tool and type Order Now. Increase the font size. Then customize the fill and stroke colors to match the overall design. Move the Order Now text layer so that it starts at 15 seconds. Now let's animate the text. Select the Order Now layer and press S to reveal the scale property. At 16 seconds, click the stopwatch to create the first keyframe. Move the playhead back to 15 seconds and set the scale value to 0%. Preview the animation. The text scales up nicely, but the motion is still a bit linear. Select both scale keyframes and press F9 to apply easy ease. Finally, open the graph editor and adjust the speed curves to create a smoother, more polished scaling animation. Now let's create a call to action button. Select the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle to use as the button. Open the shape layer and increase the roundness value to give the button smooth, rounded corners. Move the button layer so that it starts at 16 seconds. Next, go to the Effects and Presets panel and search for Emboss. Apply the effect to the button layer. In the Effect Controls panel, adjust the emboss settings until you achieve a subtle 3D look that complements the design. Now, select the Type tool and type the phone number that you want to display on the button. Change the font color, then increase the font size so the number is easy to read. Next, go to the Effects and Presets panel and search for the Typewriter Effect. Apply it to the phone number text layer. Press U to reveal the animation keyframes. Move the second keyframe to just after 17 seconds to make typing animation fast. Preview the animation. The call to action button appears with a subtle embossed effect, and the phone number is revealed with a smooth typewriter animation, creating an engaging and professional finish. Now let's add the final details to complete the design. Select the Type tool and type Fast Delivery. Position the text in the bottom right corner of the composition. Next, create another text layer and type Hot and Fresh. Change its color so it stands out and complements the overall color scheme. Now bring the social media icons onto the timeline and scale them to the desired size. Place them at bottom left corner. With the icon layer selected, choose the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle mass around the icon you want to keep. This will hide the other icons that aren't needed. Next, select the Type tool and type @Pasta Delight. Change the text color to match the design. Hold Shift and select the 4 layers: Fast Delivery, Hot and Fresh, the social media icon, and the @Pasta Delight text. Move all 4 layers so that they start after 17 seconds. All 4 layers still selected. Press P to reveal the position property. After 17 seconds, click the stopwatch of icon and move the icons to the left outside the canvas. After 18 seconds, move the icons back to bottom left. Now click on the stopwatch of @Pasta Delight text layer after 18 seconds. Now move the playhead back to after 17 seconds and move the text outside the canvas. Select all 4 keyframes and press F9 to apply easy ease. Finally, open the graph editor and adjust the S curves to create a smoother, more polished animation. Now, after 17 seconds, click on stopwatch of both free delivery and hot and fresh lays and move them to the right outside the canvas. Then after 18 seconds, move them back to canvas at bottom right. Select all 4 keyframes and press F9 to apply easy ease. Finally, open the graph editor and adjust the S curves to create a smoother, more polished animation. Preview the animation to see the final elements slide into place. Now, preview scene 3. Now I play the entire advertisement from the beginning to see the complete animation. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and learned something new. If you found it helpful, please like, share, and comment on the video. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more After Effects tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.